Okay, maybe let's. Michael, what about you? What did you do today, Michael?
Well, nothing, not too much. I just worked and that's all.
Okay, nice. Just working. And
Yeah.
Amp, what about you? Amp, are you there? Hmm. Okay, maybe not. It's strange because Amp was in my last class and she didn't have any problems with her internet. Um, but okay, so let's go. Let's have Valerio. Can you read the title in the next couple of lines? Can you read the title in the next couple of lines?
Okay, today we will talk about learning and online education, cultural views of education.
Yeah. Can you repeat education? Education.
Education.
Yeah. Good job. Okay.
Thank
And the perfect. Yeah, no problem. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions? Okay, let's go to the
you.
next page. Valerio, can you ask Michael the first question?
Michael, what is your favorite memory from your time in school?
Joshua, what is implying when in expression time in oh, why from your time in school? Oh, okay, school. So this is like from a beginner when I started to learn and till like till university, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, what is your favorite memory from? I can tell you that I have many. I don't have only one, so I have lots of memories, and there are lots. Like from when I started to learn, I remember my first teacher. Like maybe she was not first, like but second, third. But I don't know why, but I loved her very much. And after a while, I remember my another teacher that was like a man. He was very good, like a friend, very funny or something. And I remember, of course, my classmates that we had lots of fun during the school.
Okay, nice. That's good. Really good answer. Um, okay, and what was your um no,
What?
I think that's perfect. I was thinking about asking about your favorite class. So like what was your favorite class? Your favorite
Fa-
period of the day?
what do you mean favorite class?
So your favorite subject. So like
Okay,
history or
okay.
math.
Okay, let's say that my favorite subject was geography, but
Nice.
I'm not sure that geography. So I have had many favorite subjects. I think not only that. So biology. Let's say biology was my favorite subject.
Okay, perfect. Good. Okay, and Michael, can you ask Amp the next question?
Amp, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go to public school or private school? Which type of school is better in your country?
Well, in my elementary school, I was in a private one, but my high school and my university, they were public institutions.
Okay, nice. Um,
And with which type of school is better? That it depends on your field, I think. My institution in the university, for example, it was a public one, but it was the best engineering careers. So that depends on the field, the major.
nice. Okay, good. Really good answer. So it definitely depends on what you're studying. So, but cool. Um,
But about if you compare as a quality of teaching, I mean, of getting knowledge, where is like, do you see like better like approach from the teachers or better quality?
So that is why I told you that depends on the major that you are following, because sometimes, for example, in this case, in engineering,
Uh-huh.
this university was the best. Um, even in was this university received the best qualification in international levels, and it's a public institution. But
Okay.
it depends on the field.
Nice. Good. Really good answer. Good question too. Michael, really nice question. Okay. And any other questions on this page? Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, what did you study? I mean, what's your studies?
Are you asking me? Are you
Yeah,
asking
Joshua. Yeah, Joshua.
So I actually studied literature and English, but I also studied Spanish and psychology and history, so quite a few things.
So, what are your getaways from psychology?
What did I take away from psychology?
Is it correct to ask like that? I've heard on the TV.
What did you take away?
But I heard like, what are your getaways, something like that. What are your takeaways, like that? I've heard.
Yeah. What are your takeaways? What did you take away from?
Okay.
Yeah.
From the psychology class.
It's hard to go into. Excuse me, Valerio?
No, what's the meaning of what did you take away?
Okay, it's like what did you learn
Okay.
Yeah.
The main points you understood, like from.
Yeah, and so again, that's a tough question. So a lot about like abnormal psychology and things like that. So just kind of understanding mental diseases, I think, was probably one of the main points.
So, can you identify a mental, so a person with a mental disease, like basically, or no? Let's narrow the question.
To some extent, I definitely not a psychologist, but yeah, to some extent you can diagnose a little bit, maybe. But yeah, never like actually diagnosing.
Okay. No, the last question was like a joke, so.
Yeah, I figured. But good though. And Ken, welcome to class. Ken, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Ahmad, that's really interesting. I didn't know that in the UK a public school is a private school and a state school is a public school. Huh. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I did not know that, Ahmad. And so, yeah, Ken, again, welcome to class.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's confusing. Public school and private school in England. Yeah.
Right?
In Britain. Yeah.
But let's go to the next page and let's have Ken, can you read the title and the directions?
Okay. Vocabulary. Define these words or use them in sentences.
Nice, really great pronunciation. Amp, can you read the first 3 words?
Accessible, alternative, and geography.
Nice, good pronunciation. And Valerio, can you read the next 3 words?
Compare, graduate, evaluation. Stop.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Maybe just graduate. Can you repeat graduate?
Graduate. Compare, graduate. Graduate.
Graduate.
Evaluation.
Yeah. And Michael, can you read the last words?
Instructor, photocopier.
Nice. Good pronunciation.
How do you pronounce photocopier?
It's a photocopier. So photocopier.
Photocopier.
Yeah. Photocopier.
Photocopier. Photocopier. Photocopier.
Yeah, photocopier. That's a hard one.
Yeah, a little bit.
But good, really nice job. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, impressive. So can you each choose a word and can you write a sentence in the chat box using that word? So choose one of these words and write a sentence in the chat box using that word. Okay, and it looks like Amp will be right back. Oh, no, that was ages ago. Okay, but yeah, so just again, write a sentence in that chat box. Nice. Nice sentence, Valerio. Nice. Okay, and let's start with Valerio. Valerio, can you read your sentence?
Was your school accessible to people with disabilities?
Nice. And I really wouldn't change much there. Maybe just the your. Get that a lowercase. Was your
Yes.
school? But yeah, other than that, Valerio, really nice job. Amp, can you read your sentence?
The instructor did a great work in geography.
Okay. And so we changed that a little bit. Did great work.
Job.
Yeah, did a great job in geography. Yeah, I think that would have done better. He did a great job in geography. Okay, perfect. And Michael, what about the next sentence? Can you read that?
Before to buy something, I always compare prices, look for accessible things, and consider alternatives. I use like 3 words from your list.
That was great. We've used the gerund instead of the infinitive.
Okay, but why would they use that?
It's just that's the way you do it. So the gerund and the infinitive are pretty difficult to choose between because you just have to memorize the things that they come after.
Okay, so before buying something.
Yeah. So whenever we use before, we say buying after. So before doing something, before buying something. I always compare prices.
Looking?
I think we should say and look.
Look. Okay. But to end, we should get rid of, do you see prices and look for accessible thing and consider, so to end.
Yeah.
It's kind of redundant.
It is. So we'd actually just do a comma then. So I always compare prices, look for accessible things, and consider alternatives.
Okay. Or I can like, before buying something, firstly, I always compare prices. Secondly, look for accessible things. And finally, consider alternatives.
Yeah, and finally consider alternatives. So I don't know if we'd say firstly. We'd probably say first, I compare prices.
Well, first?
And then we say then, I look for accessible things. And lastly, I consider alternatives.
Okay.
Teacher, after things, you needed the comma? Do you need the comma?
Yep.
Actually, in this case, you don't. So a lot of times, if and is the last thing, you don't need a comma before it, but you can put it. So it's either or.
Okay.
You know what I will start here on Webling, that it's better with comma. You kind of give understanding that is. So it's better with comma, like if you put. I cannot explain you, but the idea that you can both ways do that, but it's better with comma.
Yeah, so I like to put commas there, but you don't need it. So yeah, you can do either or, for sure. But yeah, it's a tricky one. And Ken, can you read your sentence? sorry, Ken, are you there?
Sorry, I forgot unmuting mic. Yeah. Could you please make a copy by a photographer and question mark? Yeah, I posted again.
Okay.
Yeah. And is it correct, or
Could you please
the second sentence I
Um,
posted on the bubbling,
yeah.
not bubbling kind of, chat.
Yeah, the chat box.
Yes.
We actually probably would
Not
want
by,
a
okay.
different preposition.
On.
Not quite.
In.
It starts with W.
With.
Okay. Yeah.
With a photocopier.
For sure. Can you read that sentence one more time?
Okay, could you please make a copy with a photographer, a photocopier?
Yeah, exactly. Really good job with a photocopier.
Joshua, I have a question.
Okay.
Can we say, could you please make a copy through a photocopier?
No, we
No.
wouldn't say that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think of ways that we would, but we wouldn't never say that.
Okay.
But really good question. Any other questions about anything on this page? Does anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I'm working on right now, Amp. So yeah, I definitely have a class on prepositions pretty soon. But great question. Any other questions? Hopefully not. It looks pretty good. So let's go to the next page. You're welcome, Amp. And let's have Valerio. Can you read the title and the next paragraph?
Okay. Discussion. In the United States, there are certain years where students have to take benchmark tests. If a school student do well on the test, the school gets more money. If the students do poorly, the school's funding is cut.
Yeah, nice job. Really good pronunciation. Good correction of funding. Okay, and Valerio, can you ask Michael the first question?
Michael, what do you think of standardized benchmark tests?
So, benchmark test standardized, like, is that when you give a test to everyone the same test?
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't create like any sentences. You just choose A, B, C, like D.
Pretty much, yeah. Those are usually more standardized tests.
Okay. Well, I think it's a good way to test people, to test students, just because if they are made in a professional way, you could easily get a sense. Could you say get sense about the level of students, or you could understand the level of students?
I think you could get a sense of the student's level.
Yeah, the student's level, and what I mean that you would understand so what knowledge has each student, and by this test it is it is a very how do you say that the corruption factor or a biased factor is reduced. How would you say?
Yeah, the corruption factor or the bias.
Yeah, is what I mean that so basically if you have standardized, you just look at the form and you compare the answers. That's all, and you after that you count like how many points got each student. But if it's not standardized, if there you should write an essay or you should write like some things to do, like it's not standardized, so there is like could be a bias factor. Could be, but I'm not saying that that's definitely.
Yeah, that was good though. I think how many points each student got was one thing I noticed, and then what knowledge each student has. But I think other than that, really good grammar. I wouldn't change very much. Nice answer, Michael.
Okay.
For sure. Okay.
I have a question about this answer.
Okay.
About the bias. What do you mean? What do you mean for bias? Do you mean the teachers' bias they have about students?
Yeah, I mean that basically they could, for example, a teacher could have his opinion on some subject, and if you write like your opinion, he or she could don't like your opinion just because it's not correspond with his or her opinion. So basically, they would put you a worse point just because your opinion is not. They consider that not correct or something. That could be. I'm not saying that 100% true, but there is a possibility, a chance.
Yeah, that sounds great. Really good, yeah, explanation. Just two things: dislike and incorrect.
What?
So the two words you said could not like, could
okay. Dislike. Okay.
and then it's not correct. It's incorrect.
Okay, incorrect. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So just those prefixes. But good,
Okay.
that was awesome. And Ahmad, welcome to class. Ahmad, how are you doing?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. As usual, I forget this switch on my headphone.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
forget to put it on.
I've done that more than once for sure. Okay, and does anybody have any? Oh, well, actually, let's have Michael. Can you ask Amp the next question?
Amp, do these tests exist in your country?
Oh, well, that's something that is have been applied since 2 years ago, I think, the new system.
Okay, it's something that's been applied for 2 years. And how do they work, Amp? Do you think they're working or do you think they're not?
Well, there are many complaints for of the teachers because they have been evaluated. But I think the laws have changed a lot. But the results I think it is are not visible yet. Maybe now in 5 years we can know if the new system work or not.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's great. Really good answer. Um, and Amp, I'm sorry, where are you from again?
From Ecuador.
Ecuador. Okay, perfect. I just one of those questions. It's been a while. Okay, perfect. And Amp, can you ask Ken the last question?
Okay. Do they help or hurt schools and students?
Kind of, in terms of a budget, how many budget school can get? So, lower class school sounds like suffering kind of low budget problem. So,
Yeah.
they cannot prepare enough curriculum or text or something like that. So, for lower class students or school, it might cause a vicious circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. A vicious circle. Really good vocabulary words too. Good, and I think you understood the idea pretty well. Yeah, so it's really difficult for lower class schools. and students. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions? Okay. And so let's go ahead and go to the next page. And let's have Ahmad. Can you read the part of the boy in the comic? And let's have Valerio. Can you read the part of the girl?
I will
Okay.
try my best because my screen is very
Small.
small. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I can't see it. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to
Skip me
put it
this.
in Google Drive.
Okay.
So yeah, it's in Google Drive now. Get access. Oh. Did you get it?
My Google Drive is slow.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow.
This is the problem.
And get access. Any luck? How about now?
Yeah. It's almost there. It's loading. Saying that.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Okay. And yeah, can you play the part of Calvin, so the boy? And again with Valerio, can you play the part of the girl?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hey Susie, did you have any trouble with our math homework last night?
No, why?
I thought a couple of these were tricky. Can I check my answers with yours?
Okay.
Thanks. What did you get from question 1?
7.
7. Good, that's what I got. What did you get for question 2? Sorry, I was laughing. Yeah, your turn, yeah.
Drop that, Calvin.
Good. Perfect. That was awesome. And so, Ahmad, I'm gonna ask you, what did you think about this comic?
Well, it wasn't cheeky, Kennedy. It was cheating.
What was that?
He was cheating, probably, or something.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Ken, can you explain how he was cheating? What was he doing?
He's copying, the other student's answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cheating.
Definitely. Okay.
I don't understand the answer of the girl at the end.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
mean
actually.
drop that.
So it just actually means, die, literally. But it means like go away or stop bothering me. So it's not it's not used frequently in the United States anymore. Maybe it's kind of like an older expression. But drop dead just means like, yeah, go away, stop bothering me.
Go to the hell.
Pardon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
You
it's
say
just,
go to the hell. Go to the hell.
yeah, actually we'd say that expression without the article. So you'd say go to. But pretty much, yeah, same idea. Drop dead, go away, yeah, go to hell, I guess. But good, awesome. And Ken, can you ask Amp the second question?
Okay. Second question. What do you think of this? No. Have you ever done something like this? Explain.
What do you think? Have you ever done something like this? No. I
Nice.
usually did my homework.
Okay. And if you didn't do your homework, you just let it lie. Okay, good. And what about you, Michael? Have you ever done something like this?
To copy?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, just maybe copying sneakily, like Calvin is doing here.
Sure, I've done many times, not only one.
I like it.
Not all subjects, but yeah, and really like I've done that in my so when I wanted to study in high school, there was like 2 exams in new high school to pass,
Okay.
and I was a little bit not so smart in mathematics, yeah. And what I did, I just I'm telling you honestly, I just the guy who was behind me, I told him solve for me those
Oh my
like
goodness.
exercises, and I gave him like on the small piece of paper, and he did for me just because he was like really smart in that subject. He helped me in that, and I helped him in literature. I wrote for him like a piece of text, like creative text.
Nice. That's impressive.
And
Okay.
what was interesting, I didn't know that guy. I mean, he was just from city. He wasn't my friend or something. I just like turned around and said, "Can you solve, please?" He said, "Sure."
That's ridiculously. But okay. He wasn't my friend or anything.
Yeah, he wasn't my friend or acquaintance. No, just a random guy.
Good. Okay. And Ahmad, I'm interested in hearing your story. What about you? Have you ever done something like this, Ahmad?
Well, actually, I didn't. But in some cases, I might forget to do my homework or things like that. In this case, my friends, this I don't know, is it ironic? My friends offer me, to write or to correct or to do something for me, to do me favor.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in general, because I sometimes like help them with not type like this, but I am ready, for example, to explain something for them. If something is very difficult to understand, I try to like make it easy for them to understand it. That's
Yeah.
why probably they feel like they owe me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. We'd say explain something to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Explain something for them. I'm trying to think. You could actually probably say, I'll explain that for you. So you could say for them too. Sounds more natural to me to use the preposition to them, but I'm not actually. I think you're right. Both of those could work.
But I was thinking of two usually probably negative things in some cases. When you say, like, why have you done this to me? Means someone did something negative, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're explaining something, it doesn't quite have the negative connotation that
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would
yeah.
have like an action, but
I
yeah,
see.
for sure.
Okay.
So explain it to you or explain it for you. Both could work and they'd be equally good. So nice job. Any other questions on this page? Any other questions? Okay. And let's go ahead and go to the next page. And let's have Valerio. Can you read that paragraph?
Alternative schools. In the United States and in the rest of the world, people are turning to alternative schools. People are educating themselves online, sending their children to Montessori schools, or opting for private education.
Nice. That sounded really good. Really good pronunciation. The only small thing that I saw was education. Education.
E- education.
Yeah.
Education.
Nice. Really good job. But other than that, yeah, really, really good work. And okay, Valerio, can you ask Amar the first question?
Ahmad, what do you think about alternative education?
Well, it sounds interesting, But I think it is a bit hard, probably. It needs kind of people who are determined, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, for sure. What about you, Ken? What do you think about alternative education?
Me?
Yeah, Ken,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. I think it's good. This online, yeah, barbering is also alternative education. It's
Hmm.
not traditional education. Kind of class using online. I think it's good because it's more free and it's kind of how can I say, especially people or students are living in a very countryside or isolated area. It's very beneficial. But I have one question. What is Montessori schools?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Montessori is um, living in isolated areas, maybe. Um, so a Montessori school is actually the name of a person. So Montessori was a person, and she created her own type of schooling, which was a little
Mm,
bit different. And it's really popular in the United States right now.
mm,
Um,
I
but that's it.
see.
Yeah, it's for children. I'm not sure until what age, probably 10 or 12 maybe. But it's a
Mhm.
young education, and it's just a different way of doing things.
Sounds like one educational method.
It sounds like what?
Educational method. Education method.
Yeah,
Mm,
it is
mhm.
like an educational method. Yeah,
Okay.
The Montessori method, for
Mhm.
sure. Um, yeah, but good. And so welcome to class, Ali. Ali, how are you doing?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Yes,
Okay, and Ali, where are you from?
I'm from Egypt.
Okay, perfect. And again, welcome to class.
Nice to
Ali,
meet you.
nice to meet you. Ali, can you ask the second question?
Yes, what do you think about
Okay, not quite. The question
what?
right after that. Yeah.
What?
Sorry, Ali.
Yeah.
Can you read this question right here?
Do you think that online education is a good option for young student?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think that if you are an adult, you can manage the information in better way than if you are a young. Maybe like a complement, it's okay, but to be the principal way to study, I don't think so.
Okay, if it's complimentary,
Hmm.
um, uh, if it's method, uh, yeah, I don't think so. Um, okay, okay, if it's complimentary, but if it's the principal method, I don't think so. Okay, for sure. And why do you think that? So why?
Just because young people have is are not very responsible in order to follow a pattern in that way. You have to be very responsible in order what is the subject that you are to learn from yourself. And maybe you have a lot of distractions on the internet that is not going to help you in the way of your preparation.
Nice. I totally agree. I think that's a great answer. For sure. Definitely. Okay, and can you ask Michael the last question?
Okay. Do you know any other types of alternative education?
Well, alternative education. But what could be other types? Well,
A
what other
private
types?
tutor? A private tutor?
That's
Yeah.
not alternative. I mean, that's kind of private tutor, okay, but he or she would not fulfill all the subjects or would not cover like all the uh, variety. I mean, I would not give you the variety of what you.
Okay, yeah, there are people though who do spend money on private tutors in different subjects. So you could just tutor your children and have one-on-one education. And that is one type of alternative education.
Yeah, but that goes as a complementary to as a plus to basic education. That's not like first source of education.
I
No?
think there are some people that have that kind of education in the United States. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think in different places with people who have a lot of money, it's definitely something that does happen. It's not as common as it used to be, maybe. I think in the past, it used to be a little bit more popular with the upper classes, but yeah, private tutors maybe are more of a complementary style of learning more
How
often.
so how would that work if it's not complementary? How would that work? What would you study? Okay, you can study English, I mean a language, for example. That's definitely you can study with a native speaker, like as a private tutor, with a private. But how would in other subjects, like
Okay.
would you take for business, for example, a private tutor?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could.
yeah, could be. Yeah, could be definitely, but. I don't think the quality would be the same if you go to MBA, for example, there where you have like a variety of teachers, like at least 5 teachers or 10, and you have different subjects than one only teacher. And
Yeah, I guess it does depend. The quality probably varies. Um, but yeah, I think that it's something that you can do is just pay for a number of different private tutors. And you have one-on-one education, and you get a little bit more attention.
I
But
think that the came of the alternative education is more in primary schools or
mhm,
high school, but if it in not in a university level, it's more for the basic knowledge that you have in primary and high school.
yeah, I think so too as well. Um, good. And so, Michael, can you think of any other types of alternative education? Any other types?
hmm, well, do you consider religion as alternative education?
Yeah, I
I mean,
pretty much.
yeah, there are like kind of religion that you go to gatherings and they educate you. I mean, they speaking some stuff. Then you find out new things. I don't know how they are useful for you, but for sure they are teaching you something there.
Yeah, okay, that'd be a different. Yeah, so like religious education would be an
Well, there,
alternative education.
there is another kind of education.
What?
The best way.
Let's hear it,
By
Valeria.
you have to put a book under your pillow when you go to sleep. That's
Nice.
the best education.
For sure. That's good. I like that one. Okay, good. And does
What
it?
about self-study?
Yes, for sure.
Any support.
Studying for yourself, it definitely works. Um, yeah, so self-education. Perfect. Any questions on this page?
Verbling is alternative education for
Mm-hmm.
English for a language. For example, I've learned like in school and high school English, and after learning there, I couldn't speak. I just knew like
Mm-hmm.
only basic words like mother, father, go, come, but I couldn't speak when in past tense and in future tense properly. I could speak only in kind of present tense. That's all. But here I learned like for 1 year, so
Yeah, and really impressive too.
yeah, I can speak in many tenses. So I
Yeah, you
use.
speak quite well, for sure. Okay, good. Definitely Verbling is a type of alternative education as well. But good, really nice work. Let's go to the next page, and let's have. Welcome back, Ken. Let's have
Sorry,
Valerio.
sorry for messing around. So.
Don't be sorry. Valerio, can you read the quotation? Can you read this quotation?
Quotation. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel.
Kindling. Can you repeat kindling?
Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel.
Perfect. Really nice work. Kindling.
But I don't understand the meaning.
Yeah, this is a tough one. And so what do you have a question about? Which words?
Okay.
Valerio, do you have a question about any of the words?
Kindling.
Yeah, kindling.
I
So
don't.
it's like the starting or the sparking. Starting, sparking. Kindling is a noun. As a noun would be firewood that is small and used to start fires. So it's either a verb, it would be like the starting or the sparking or the lighting, you could say.
Okay.
And then as a noun, it's just like the small firewood. But really good question. And any other questions about this quotation? Does anybody have any questions about the words they use? Okay. And so let's have Ahmad. What do you think the quotation means? What do you think it means?
Quotation. Saying? Or it's a sentence or phrase that has been said by someone.
Yeah, that's what a quotation. What do you think this quotation means? So what do you think education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel? What do you think that means?
I'm not sure, but I think it says that education is not the amount of knowledge, probably. It is the thing that you use it or you apply it on something. Let's say, for example, learning English, for example, about on VerbLink. It is not about just attending or joining classes every class during the day. It is about how much you benefit from this and you start to practice it.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good, pretty good for sure. What about you, Ken? What do you think a quotation means?
Quotation education is a kindling of flame, not the feeling
Kindling.
of kindling of a flame, not the feeling of a vessel. Kind of quotation usually, this is a quote from Socrates. That's a quotation mean usually.
Yeah. So this is a quote from Socrates for sure. But what do you think it means?
Means in this particular sentence, quotation, or quotation in general, you mean?
What Socrates tried to say with that phrase.
Oh, okay. Mm, feeling of a vessel. Kindling of a flame. What is kindling in this sense?
Okay, so it's like starting or sparking.
Starting of the flame. Not a feeling of vessel. Ah, okay. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah. You know, especially Socrates, like such kind of philosophical study, the education is not only the accumulate knowledge, but also to think yourself, to criticize by yourself, criticize things, kind of critical thing, to master critical thinking. That's education for Socrates.
Sorry, Joshua, what is feeling of a vessel?
Okay, so filling of a vessel is a little bit, a vessel is just like something that holds something else. So, yeah, like a vessel could be a boat or any container, like a cup.
Okay, so filling like filling with water.
Yeah, filling with water could be part of it. That would work for sure. Yeah, you could fill anything like a vessel. And so the kindling of a flame, so just to explain it really quickly, before we run out of time. So the kindling of a flame would be more like the starting of something that grows and continues growing. And the filling of a vessel, it's like something that can end. So when you're sorry for that.
We couldn't hear you, so can you repeat your explanation?
Yeah, sorry. So the filling of a vessel is something that ends, so it has an end point. So when you're filling a vessel, there's actually a point where it stops, and so it's like having a goal where there's an end to it. When the kindling of a flame is something that starts and it continues, and so you don't really have to. You don't have to end, and you're not trying to fill something. You're not trying to like achieve a goal. It's like a self-fulfilling thing. So flames
Okay.
take knowledge, and so it grows. Sorry about that. And so, yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately, we're actually just about out of time, and I do have another class. Hopefully, the explanation wasn't cut off too much. Does anybody have any last questions before we finish up?
No, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. And so, again, yeah, really nice class, everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you guys all again soon, and have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Josh.
You too.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much.